So, what breeds of chicken must you choose for your farm? And I've already told you there are three breeds of chicken that are commonly known worldwide. We have broilers. So, what breeds of chicken must you choose for your farm? And I've already told you there are three breeds of chicken that are commonly known worldwide. We have broilers. This is white in color, and they are purely for meat production because they grow so fast. They have been bred only for meat production. So between 4 to 6 weeks, they are ready for your market and you can sell them. And you can easily testify that in your community, in your village, and in the restaurants, hotels, they serve that a lot these days. You have parties, you have what they do that. So they grow very fast. Number two breeds of chicken that you can choose from. Or before you begin thinking, you need to consider those ones. Because when you don't know them, you cannot easily choose them. So number two is layers. They're strictly for eggs production. Remember, by a week, actually by 18 to 20 weeks, they start to lay eggs. That's about 4.5 months to 5 months. They start to lay eggs when you buy them from day one. So before you choose anything, you need to know exactly which one is which breed and which one do I need to. So your choice of enterprise will make sure you earn the money or lose your money. That is very key. That's why Gombe chicken now will help you a lot to make sure you don't just choose any breed of chicken. You choose the breed of chicken according to the demand. You need to know how much do I have and all those things. But before we go into those matching, those three breeds of chicken that we have talked about, you have talked about broilers, you have talked about layers, you have talked about dole papas. Dole papas, they give you both eggs and meat at the same time. Then at the end of the day, dole papas, there are many confusions about dole papas because people think there's a brand name for chicken. People think it is a different type of chicken. So dole papas means they can lay eggs, but also they can give you meat. And then examples of dole papas, we have Croilers, we have Sasso. Sasso is sometimes they're pure color, one color or single line color. Could be brown, but also there is a mixed colored Sasso. So don't be very traditional that I need the brown chicken. That is what we call Sasso. No. It is just a name, but also they grow faster a little bit. Then we have Croilers that looks like local. Purely, they look like local, but they grow faster than local birds. Then we have so many other examples. Even your local birds in the community is what we call dole papas. So before you choose any of these breeds of chicken, what must you consider? I want you to match your choice of any of these breeds of chicken against these things. Number one, match them against your space. What kind of space do you have that you want to put this chicken in? Do you have a good space? Do you have a bigger land? Are you able to do a semi-intensive, or are you able to rear inside a bit and release them to walk out? Then that also makes you decide on which type of chicken to rear. Number two, against space, go to next thing is against the money you have. How much capital do you have and you want to invest in that breed of chicken? For example, I told you broilers will take you 4 to 6 weeks and they're ready for market. Number two, I told you layers, they start laying up to from 18 to 20 weeks. That is 4.5 months to 20 months. Then they start co-sharing with you. They start buying feeds for you, and also they start giving you a little bit of returns that you've invested for the last 4.5 months or 5 months. Then I told you also that dole papas, 3 months they're ready for sale. But if you want them to lay eggs or so, that is 4.5 months. So before you choose any of the breeds of chicken, which amount of money are you willing to invest? So when you've looked at space, you've looked at money, then look at because money by the way affects so much, because money is talking about feeding. You need to buy the right feeds, you need to buy the right equipment, you need to put up the right structure, you need to buy the right breeds of chicken as well. So money will determine a lot. So when you've gotten the right capital, you have the right space, now look at the time and management that you have. Are you yourself, do you have time to supervise or be available at your farm? Now that is where many of us will make mistakes, because sometimes we get excited because we have money and we set up a nice structure and we bring the right breeds of chicken, but then management and supervision is lacking. We leave the farm to the worker, and the worker decides what to do and what not to do. Then also At the end of the day, the birds can be ready, but the way they are sold, we don't understand. We invested this amount of money, but we have not gotten anything back. They have died, but there's no evidence. They are sick, but there's no evidence because you are not available. So I want you always to be available at your farm. And before you choose any of these breeds, calculate what time do I have to manage, or what time do I have to supervise my business. You may not be able to be fully at the farm, but you must not fail to supervise your chicken business or any other business almost on a daily basis. Either you've created a system that is able to report to you, or you yourself, you're physically available to supervise. And that is very key. So when you've looked at that, then you can choose which type of chicken I can easily invest my money into. Then when you've looked at the time, you've looked at the money, you've looked at the structure or the space you have, then go down, look at your market. Now, before you choose any of these breeds, remember all of them, their market demand is different. And you need to be sure that when you join any of these, you have done a research. Or because, for example, I want you to know quickly that broilers, when they're ready for sale, they must go. If they don't go, you're making losses. You're making losses terribly because they start eating the real money that they should be called profit. Then after that, they're also going to eat the real capital. At the end of the day, this system of selling 5 this week, next week I'm selling 10, out of 500 birds, you are going to use all the money to feed the rest. By the time you're done with selling, there's no single money. And you begin wondering, and you begin saying, chicken does not bring money, poultry is not good, I have lost all my money. It is because you have not done your market research. Make sure you do market. That's why you choose according to your market. The breed you choose should be able to support the market you have. When you come to layers, every day people need eggs, and whatever number of layers chicken you're going to rear will not match the demand for the eggs. I told you at Ogombe Chicken, we are here to empower you so that you feed communities. We want you to feed communities with the right nutrition, but also with the quantity. So whatever number of eggs you're going to produce will be taken all, because the demand will always be there and nobody is satisfied, and we will still need more farmers for layers to come on board. So when you're choosing, look at the market. If I rear this kind of chicken, is the market easily available? Then when you come to dual purpose, there are communities that do not trust broilers. They believe that broilers, sometimes, I know we're going to talk about that, they're injected, they have chemicals, they grow very fast. How can chicken grow within 4.5 weeks, or in 6 weeks they're ready? No. So there are people who do not believe that. But also when you look at the broilers or saso or a local chicken under dual purpose, their demand is a bit less. When it comes to feed, their nutrition requirement is not like for layers or broilers, because layers and broilers, they're strict. They need a certain type of nutrition and you must provide. But dual purpose will tell you, if today you don't have enough money, just make sure I have something to feed on. I will still give you what you need. Meaning they can convert that food into meat or into eggs. You can compromise with them. They are a bit forgiving compared to broilers and layers. They don't forgive. Those two, they don't forgive. If they need to eat certain type of food, they must eat that type of food. Then also, they need to make sure they drink the right water, or if you need to inject it, you need to do something always so that they give you returns. But when it comes to dual purpose can give you a better, when you have little capital and you want to start chicken business, I will still invite you to do and start with dual purpose, because dual purpose will allow compromise, but do not overly compromise. We will advise you that one-on-one when you come. So before you choose, those are the things I want you to make sure before you choose any of these enterprises. In case you're a new poultry farmer who wants to come into poultry, please make sure you know which breed of chicken do I want to start with, and also what requirements are they needing. Which one do I need to have, or which one do I have? Make sure before you start. But remember, we are here to guide you. And you can make an appointment. We can sit one-on-one. We can talk. We can organize. In case you have many workers that you want us to train them before we start, we will train them. And as we told you earlier, Ogombe Chicken, we are here to empower you and feed communities. So make sure you're empowered with knowledge. We empower you with quality chicks. But also above all, we want you to make sure you don't start anything in ignorance. You need to know exactly what you're doing. So we are running every week masterclass that you need not to miss. A poultry masterclass that we run every Saturday online, and we train farmers for free. Please just join our group, WhatsApp group, and be part of our WhatsApp group. Any part of the world, you can be part of our WhatsApp group, and we will be glad to feed you with knowledge. And also on our Saturdays every week, we are committed to train you, but also you can do one-to-one. We can sit down and we can train you at a very affordable fee, and we will be happy to work with you. So this is your expert, Ogombe Chicken, and we will see you next time. Please, before you leave, subscribe, follow us, and share with many people. Thank you.